In a few days time, we're going to be getting the brand new Dragon Ball MOBA, Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadra drop. So in this video, I'm going to be going over and reacting to all the brand new recent trailers for all the new characters coming to the game. And there's quite a few. The most recent one being Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, who I did not expect to be in this game. So the fact that they're both in the game as a dual character, I'm completely here for it. We've got the superhero effects in there as well. They're looking fantastic, by the way. That looks amazing. I really like how they kept the comic book effects that was in superhero in every game they've been in. And I'm just happy to see them in the game. So they're a damage roll. A superhero tag team with Gamma 1 specializing in large-scale brawls and Gamma 2 in small-scale skirmishes, join forces with special pose and vanquish evil using combination attacks. So we've got the Gamma switch, which allows Gamma 1 and 2 to swap in battle. Each Gamma has their own base HP, rush attack, and movement speed. So we basically have two characters for the price of one. The two will swap when certain skills are used or when their base HP reaches 0. When on standby with 0 base HP, Gamma 1 or Gamma 2 can be revived by performing special pose or healing them at spawn point. That's really cool. A blast using a ray gun on Gamma 1. The third consecutive attack will be followed up, and the Gamma on standby will follow up with a ray gun attack that deals additional damage. More damage is dealt with special pose in effect. We've got Gamma Strike, which, again, I love these effects they've got going on. I think they're so sick. But as Gamma 2 dashes forward and delivers a strike, the skill can be reactivated immediately after use. If a third hit lands, it explodes and deals additional damage. Or Bokam cannot be activated when Gamma 2's base HP is 0, while under the effect of special pose, you gain additional HP upon activation when the strike hits. Again, these effects just look amazing. So, of course, the whole gimmick is you want to keep the other Gamma, being 1 or 2, alive at all times. That way you're getting more buffs, you're doing more damage, otherwise you lose out. As Gamma 1 deals a flying kick that causes a shockwave, gains extra HP upon activation, and when the shockwave hits, creates an explosion after the shockwave and deals more damage at skill level 3, cannot be activated when Gamma 1's HP is 0. More damage is dealt with special pose in effect. So essentially you want to be using special pose a lot, and again, have both Gammas alive at all times to do more damage. And then I actually missed that one. I was too busy watching the blaster effects, which is Gamma Blaster and Full Burst. Use a ray gun to fire scattered shots in set direction, can move or redirect while attacking. More damage is dealt while special pose in effect. This is pretty much kind of like a crowd control skill, right? An AoE crowd control, you know, push back, multiple enemies, hold them back. And then we have Super Attack 1, which is Special Pose. Create a surrounding explosion that staggers enemies while striking a hero's pose. Heals HP. They don't give you a lot of time to read these. When activated, and allows Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 to work in tandem for a set period. Combines their HP stats into 1 and transform their rush attacks and skills into combination attacks. Can be activated. Can activate Core Breaker at skill level 3. So that's like all the way back here when we saw them have like one giant health bar here. That is literally their health bars combined. That's really, really sick. Really, really sick. I like that a lot. Core Breaker as Gamma 2 rushing for a last direct attack at a set position. Can only be activated once per turn during a skill. Again, they just go through so quickly. Can only be activated once per battle during a skill level 3. Special pose drains the base HP of Gamma 2 to 0 when activated and forces Gamma 1 to swap in. So you pretty much want to pop this super when you're probably guaranteed a kill. But even then, I don't think I would waste it on one person, or maybe like someone who's being really difficult, or when I'm going for the kill on multiple enemies, or even there's multiple enemies. The Core Breaker basically leaves them on little HP, and then you come in and clean up with Gamma 1. Because then that gives you kind of time to either retreat to spawn and heal Gamma 2, or essentially wait for him to recover HP while using special pose to revive him. I really like the gimmick they got going on. I really like it a lot. I like it a lot. The whole switching between the two depending on what skills you use, and then having the other one hop in to kind of help out, do more damage, you know, keeping special pose going. And then essentially, as I said, having 2 characters for the price of 1, I think is a really cool gimmick. As I said, I'm just ultimately just happy to see them in the game. And I love the fact that they got their comic book super animations in there as well. With like the Dokkan, the Bam. I think those look really, really cool. I wonder how crazy we're going to get with the kind of characters that are added to Gekishin Squadra. Like, are we going to get to the Beasts, the Daimar, SSJ4, you know, things like that? Another character we got is Android 17. This is specifically Super 17. And also I'm seeing 18 flying with him. I like that. That's a nice touch. Of course, they are separate characters. We've already got 18 in the game. He's got his barrier. Does that just completely nullify specials? If so, that's sick. Did that just nullify an ult? Or send it back? So he's a technical, a loyal hero who fights while protecting allies with barriers. Infinite energy reactor. Use energy to reactivate your skills. Skills excluding super attacks can be activated while on cooldown. Again, we kind of fly through these so quickly. Energy used will be recovered over time. The more skills that are on cooldown, the faster your energy will replenish. Fire an energy blast if it hits an enemy while they are transforming. It will interrupt their transformation. That's actually quite handy. Barrier ball. Kick a... Jesus! Call him CR7 the way he just hit that barrier ball. Look at this! That's sick. As a football fan, I think that's dope. Kick a barrier in a directed direction. Enemies hit by the attack will have their damage, defense, and movement speed buffs converted to debuffs. That's a lot of debuffing to be doing. Damage, defense, and movement speed. Damn. If reactivated with infinite energy reactor, the enemy will also receive additional damage based on the number of debuffs applied. At skill level 3, the number of barriers will increase. So you can send out more to hit more enemies? Yeah, there's 3 of them. So if they're kind of close quarters, touch tight, you can debuff not just one, but multiple enemies at once. We got Barrier Knuckle, rush forward in a targeted direction and strike with barrier-clad fists. Enemies hit by the attack will be afflicted with movement speed down. Again, effects diminish over time. If reactivated with Infinite Energy Reactor, an additional stagger effect will be applied. So we've got debuffs galore on damage, defense, and movement speed. And then we can also apply a stagger. So we also have Android Barrier. Form a barrier to protect yourself and ally heroes. You and an ally heroes nearby will gain extra HP. If reactivated with Infinite Energy Reactor, movement speed up will also be applied as well. Of course, we've got to have a little something that can also buff our allies. Super attack, counter barrier. Form a barrier to protect yourself and allies while blowing up the surrounding area. You and any ally heroes nearby will gain extra HP. Applies no healing EX to enemies hit by the attack. The less total HP you have, the more damage dealt, and the more extra HP received. Damn. I mean, that's just going to be a very, very useful AoE. Very, very useful AoE. Like, this is going to be a clutch super attack to be using. Especially because it says to protect yourself. So I'm guessing it protects yourselves against other moves while also blowing up and dealing damage to any enemy in... How big's that, like, massive circle radius? That's the protective barrier. I mean, does it go as far as this final green line? Maybe the further you go out, the less damage it's going to do. But I think within this kind of radius of all the green energy and aura is, I think that's probably where they're going to be hit. Or at least within this giant circle. So yeah, this is going to be a fantastic AoE to deal damage, while also including allies. Can I see that little bubble around Jeets as well? Unless that's literally the skill used before. But while also protecting yourself. Because what we literally saw at the beginning of the trailer was 17 literally like blocking whole supers. He's really sick for a technical character. Just pretty much a nuisance. And the barriers... They're going to be sick to use. I can't wait to try out all of these characters already, and we're only 2 down. Another character I did not expect them to add to this game was Hit. I am gassed Hit is in this game. Surely he's going to be a damage character, right? He's going to be a damage role. Has to be. Oh, that's so sick. We got the Hit clones going on. It's time to make the donuts. Would you like jam or chocolate? Still loving how this game looks. Art style is on point. Oh, he's technical. A hitman who can blindside enemies with deadly attacks. Passive, Fear of Death. Apply a debuff that shrinks the target's field of view. Fear of Death will be applied when attacking an enemy hero who has not spotted you. Stacking Fear of Death will apply movement speed down to the enemy and they will receive additional damage, while the cooldown for Dimensional Infiltration will also be shortened. So it feels like we're finally getting a character that can actually kind of utilize the surrounding clouds, where you can be a little bit, you know, sneaky, kind of dupe enemies, dupe other players, and, you know, especially while shrinking the target's field of view. I don't think there's too many characters in the game right now that kind of really utilize that kind of things. Rush attack range increases during stealth or while in a bush and undiscovered by an enemy. We could be a bush Wookiee like Fortnite. Becomes a powered up attack if used against an enemy hero while in this state, warping you to an enemy's hero's position and dealing more damage. So yeah, you just be chilling in a bush or a cloud and then BAM! BAM! Death Blow. Fire an energy attack that penetrates enemy walls. If this is activated... Slow down. We don't need to go this fast. If this is activated during a stealth or while in a bush, the effects of stealth or the bush will remain. You can keep that. I mean, to be fair, it's going to be really obvious if you use Death Blow while in a cloud or a bush, because there's a massive purple beam going across your screen and you can kind of go, oh, that came from over here in this cloud here. But still, the fact that you keep your stealth effect active while sending out this massive attack, by the way, across the screen, I think is still kind of crazy to me. But the fact they can penetrate walls and enemies, so it means you can actually kind of basically hit a collateral, I think is pretty cool. And anyone that kind of like escapes and goes around here, you think you're safe? No, boom. So that can easily help you pick up some KOs. Skill 2, we've got Vital Point Strike. A thrust attack generates a shockwave with the attack from skill level 2. Even a short one and I can't keep up. Staggers enemy heroes who haven't discovered you when it hits. So yeah, I don't think we've really had a character that really concentrates on kind of doing jump and surprise attacks. That stagger looks huge, by the way. I don't know how long that's going to last. Really intrigued to see how long this stagger lasts in-game. But even just like the couple seconds I saw here, you could do quite a lot of damage in that small amount of time, even though that might not be the exact time that it lasts for. So skill 3 is Dimensional Infiltration. Warp to a set position and enter an alternate space-time, granting buffs. Apply stealth and movement speed up to self while in the ultimate space-time. These effects will be cancelled if hit by an enemy attack or upon using a rush attack or skill. The Death Blow is excluded. Can you imagine if you had a 17 on your team at the same time who's debuffing one of the enemies, uses the skill to buff himself while also activating a protective barrier with extra HP, and then you're a hit that then uses Dimensional Infiltration and then applies stealth and increases your movement speed? It's just going to be bullying at that point. Especially if you start a stealth attack as well. We've got the super attack, which is Assassin's Domain. That's where all the clones come up. Unleash murderous energy, granting you buffs. Applies Fear of Death, movement speed down, and obscured vision to nearby enemies. And applies same effects as Dimensional Infiltration itself. If the effects of Dimensional Infiltration are cancelled, they will be reapplied so long as no actions are performed other than movement. Hit looks really fun to use. I said, I don't think we've had a character so far in the game that actually kind of utilizes stealth and like surprise attacks and, you know, really gets to kind of make the most of like the clouds and the bushes, you know, things like that. So I think it's sick we finally have one. Hit makes the most sense. He is an assassin after all. Time to make the donuts. I think with all the buffs you can get from his skills, combined with other characters like 17 who can also apply buffs and debuffs to enemies, can work really well in the lanes, and you can do a ton more damage, especially while in stealth, and just essentially just be nuisances together. Hand in hand causing nuisances. But I think he's definitely going to be a techie character to use, because it's not just like a typical like run up and do extra damage by doing other things. Like hit definitely has some tech to him, which all characters probably do. But I feel like hit is going to take some learning. Hit is going to have a bit more of a learning curve than say other characters in this game, like, you know, Goku or Vegeta, for example. The last character we have left is Cell. Hello. So he started in his first form. Oh, you transform into perfect straight away. Okay. Again, I love the art style to this game. Every character looks so good. This is probably one of the best art styles in a Dragon Ball game we've had for a while. And this is just like a MOBA that can be played on your phone, by the way. And it looks this good. Love it. Love it. It's one of my favorite things about this game. And I don't even play MOBAs like that. So Cell's a tank. Okay. So passive bioenergy, base HP, armor, and all attack power increases the more bioenergy you absorb. Do you just get that by attacking? Oh, so it looks like on the final hit of bioenergy, you get the bioenergy. Which, I mean, you get a decent chunk when you do it, you know. Is that to get him transformed? Rush attack. Attacks become drain attacks when enemy HP is below a certain percentage for a set period of time after an enemy is obstructed or when performing a finisher. Pre-transformation, gain bioenergy and restore HP. Post-transformation, so when he transforms into Perfect Cell, restore HP and apply movement speed down to enemies. Effect is increased if activated from behind enemy. Finisher excluded. Cool. But yeah, you get a decent amount of bioenergy on that last attack. And there's the HP recovery. And then once bioenergy reaches maximum, base HP, armor, and all attacks will increase when you transform into perfect form. Big Bang Crash. Is this a little nod because we don't actually have second form Cell? Fire an energy blast. After the blast hits, it will explode after a set period and apply movement speed down. Cool. Raid Smash. Warp to a target and deliver a strike attack. Grabs the target in a chokehold. / grabs hold of the target and staggers them if attacking from behind. This is similar to one of Goku's skills where he kind of jumps to them with a bit extra, if you will, which is the stagger. Yeah, you got the bear hug, and then you got that one where you just hit him, and then you got the bear hug that was from behind. I like the little animations they had in this game. Regeneration, now that's a big one. After charging up power, unleash an explosion around yourself and then regenerate. Explosion occurs when command is re-entered or a set amount of time has passed. Applies movement speed down to enemies hit from the front. Regenerates and heals HP after the explosion. Amount of HP healed increased based on how low HP is at the time of the explosion and the amount of damage taken while charging up power. Can move while charging at skill level 3. Removes debuffs when regenerating. Pretty crazy move all in all. You know, you're lowering speed again with this skill. This isn't the only skill that can lower movement speed on enemies, but you have to be from the front. You heal HP after you're done exploding, and you increase the amount of HP based on how low HP yours is at the time when you explode. And also the amount of damage you take while charging up. So you kind of want people to hit you to get a bigger heal off. There's obviously not too much where you die. And then not only that as well, you remove all your debuffs when regenerating. That's like pinnacle tank right there. I mean, you get like, what, a third of HP back, which isn't bad. It's not loads, but it's decent. And then super attack pre-transformed, energy filled, attack while surrounding yourself with a barrier. The barrier will block energy attacks from the outside, while you and any ally heroes within the barrier will gain immune to energy. So you can just block everything within this barrier while dealing damage as an AoE. And then post-transformation, attack while surrounding yourself with a barrier. The barrier will block energy attacks from the outside, while you and any ally heroes within the barrier will gain immune to energy. If there are enemy heroes within the barrier, when the barrier effect ends, a ring will appear and restrain the closest enemy hero. Other enemy heroes cannot enter the ring. Applies all defense up to self. And you can just kind of rush it. That's really sick how the ring ends up being the Cell Games arena. So while they're kind of locked in, you can just, you know, you get increased defense and you just rush in and you want to basically get the KO. You want to get the kill. That's when you're going for the KO on the enemy. And you just finish them off with like an extra skill or rush attack. I think it's really cool how it becomes a Cell Games arena. Such a nice little touch. Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadra literally comes out in about 5 days time, so not long left. Another Dragon Ball game I definitely will be covering on the channel. I did when the game was in testing, in beta, and I had a lot of fun playing it, even for someone who doesn't really play MOBAs. I think just because it was a Dragon Ball game and quite easy to pick up, I had a lot of fun with it, and I'm loving all the characters they're adding. I mean, with only 5 days left to release, I wonder if they're going to add any more characters to the game, or if they're done and dusted until the official release, and then we're going to get more post-release. Who knows? But you can let me know down in the comments what character you want to be using the most first, who are you going to be maining, and also what other characters you want to see added to the game. I just wonder if they're going to touch more super characters, they're going to touch more of Daima apart from Mini Goku. I want to see what they add to this game, especially because all characters in the game have a role and they're incredibly unique. But as I said, there will be content on the channel for this game when it comes out here and there. Let me know if you'll be playing, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care, have a great day, and peace.